Hi, Scorpio. That song was for you. All right. Because that's an energy that I'm sensing for you guys, Scorp. You feel away. Okay? And I don't know if basically you are rehashing the past because of this Mercury retrograde happening in your 12th house, especially for my, Scorpio rising signs. But I'm sensing that a lot of is boiling up. When it comes to emotions and feelings, you know when you feel the feels, but you have a certain way of coping and going with that. Sometimes it's really on the surface level, and what happens is that you're fine during the day, and when you go to bed, and that's when your brain is starting to just go over it and over it and over it and over it. A lot of Nine of Swords energy, right? But when it comes to deep rooted feelings and emotions, what happens, it just happens on a level where you just go through the feelings and emotions. You don't really get that, extreme insight or the answers. You're not trying to find the answers. You're just trying to work through the emotions. When it comes to this energy that I'm sensing for you guys, and once again, especially for Scorpio risings, you are now getting the insight. You're diving a little bit deeper into it, and here you are with this information or with these insights, and now you kind of don't really know what to do with it. Like, where do I go from here? Do I communicate it? Do I not? Some of you may feel like you kind of have an issue with everyone in your life at one point, because it's just all coming to the surface in order for you to gain a new perspective, but also to really heal it. So right now you might feel, or you have been feeling, like it kind of is just after you, like kind of have to just run from all of this, or you just want to sit and don't want to let anyone in, because this healing space is this space where things come to light for you. It's a very private space, and others may not really understand your needs in that space. From the outside looking in, it doesn't look like a lot is going on, but there is a lot going on, because like I said, once again, it's such a private space. But I am definitely sensing that these next couple of weeks you're working through so much, and you will come out almost like refreshed in a rebirth. This is not just one of those rounds. This is definitely one of those rounds where it's like, okay, now we're definitely closing doors and we are opening new ones, and we're letting this pass by. We're leaving this here. We're creating new space. We're having the talks. We're not keeping it inside anymore. But I don't feel like everyone is there just yet. So it's a difficult position, because others can feel and sense there's something going on, but on the outside, once again, like, you look fine, right? Page of Wands. So definitely a new beginning and a new step forward, a new pathway forward. Let's see what else comes up with this. Beautiful. Oh, yes. 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 Page of Wands, the World, and the Nine of Pentacles. This is really one of those steps you take towards your own independence. And this is a beautiful space where you connect with people because you want to, because you like, because you appreciate their company, because a company company because you feel inspired, because they motivate you, or because you just love having them around, whether that is people, whether that's colleagues, whether that is new opportunities, whether that's doing things because you feel like it, because it's fun, because there's no need for you and there's no void to fill with that person, with that job, with that thing, with whatever side thing to distract you from how you are feeling or the void that you might be experiencing. And you are definitely filling up this, and it was long overdue, but that doesn't mean that it's not really intense, because with the World card, things coming to a close, things ending, what's on the other side, Scorpio, is really a beautiful level of independence, not only financially, it's a emotional and spiritually independence, and understanding your own individual pathway, regardless if you are married or you're a mom or a dad or whatever you got going on in your life on the surface. We are always on our own individual path, and people join our path because it's parallel next to ours, and that's why we're able and capable of connecting in that way. But in no way, shape, or form are we ever supposed to jump on someone else's pathway when it comes to, we gotta stay either parallel and sometimes it goes our separate ways. But I don't want to go too deeply into that. But what I am sensing is that you are definitely reclaiming your own pathway, and you understand that there's a lot to clean out, and have been a lot of obstacles, but it's time to hop back on your own train, right? And moving forward. And that means sometimes this train has to stop, because you have to get out and you have to remove the obstacles from the road, and it takes some time and some work, but then you're capable of moving forward again. You're capable of removing these blockages. You don't need to wait for some service that you can call to come and remove those blockages for you. And that's where it goes. A lot of times people wait for that help, and then they just stay stuck there because they don't believe that they are capable and able to get off their own train and actually remove those roadblocks. But we are, because those roadblocks were perfectly and personally designed for us to be there. So when we're capable of finally moving away those roadblocks, in there is the lesson and the tool that you're gaining, and the knowledge and the experience. They were perfectly designed for you. So sometimes the lesson isn't the removing of the blockage, it's actually getting out the train and believing and trusting in yourself that you are capable of at least giving it a go and giving it a try. And you might surprise yourself, and that your fear, of maybe I will fail, or maybe I will fail, yes, or just a fear of failure, and makes you not want to try. And I feel like if there's too much going on in your life where you are not trying, it just seems like everything just isn't moving, right? So there's a lot to gain in that section, It's just sometimes I'm so surprised, I have to talk about this. You guys are such beautiful, independent creatures. There's nothing you guys cannot do, I swear. But then when it comes to, sometimes, not all of you, obviously, you guys in relationships, it's so, sometimes I see it, because I have a lot of Scorpios in my life, but, I've been around the clock a few times. I'm so surprised, I'm just observing, how much you let slide with partners. And I know that there is a strategic move in there, in some way, shape, or form, subconsciously, not always consciously, based on if you're willing to give them this, then they are willing to give you that, and this, so your partner very well at the same time. But sometimes you guys let things slide. You will never let slide with anyone outside your household, and that is something that I'm just, I think there's a lot to learn. And yeah, okay, I'm not gonna go on and on about this because we got a lot of other stuff to talk about, okay? And we don't have that much time. Here we go. 8 of Cups, Page of Wands. Yeah, that's that journey I was talking about. That is having those insights with the 8 of Cups. So you are most definitely ready to walk away with the 9 of Cups and the Knight. 9 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Wow. Okay. this is so beautiful because the Nine of Cups is definitely signifying, you know, Nine of Cups, you gain yourself. Nobody coming to your door with 10 cups. It is the one cup that someone adds to the already existing 9 cups that you've gained yourself, like I spoke about a lot of times. But look at this, you have the 8 to the 9 to the Knight of Cups. Here's that I don't want to say prince on the white horse with the cup bringing it to your door, but it's kind of slowly a little bit like that. But I am sensing that when you gain that level of independence again, and you are on your own road, and you are actually like you are actually willing to try to get off those trains and off your train and actually try to remove those roadblocks. And then when you get into, I'm at least going to give it a go, I'm at least going to try, then what happens is that you remove some of that fear that have blocked your 9 of Cups, your own, like 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups. It doesn't only give you material wealth, also gives you emotional wealth and abundance. And it's very abundant of how much you are surprising yourself, of how much you have to offer yourself in this life. And in your life in general, your day-to-day life, like how much you can actually do for you and make yourself feel really good. How happy you can make yourself. I mean, honestly, that is so important. It's so important, especially if you want a healthy, long-lasting partnership with someone. It's knowing how happy and how much joy and love and authenticity you can bring to your own life, what you can do for you. And that's not egotistical or self-serving. It's not. It's very important. A lot of people are out here with not even knowing like the extent of how much they're capable of doing for themselves and how much power there is in having that self-belief and self-love and self-worth and value, and they're willing to stay in situations where they don't even get half of what they actually could offer themselves if they would try not to gain it from other sources, but get back on their own road and in their own train and moving forward. It doesn't mean that everybody's supposed to be like alone. I'm just saying, when you are in movement, you have a higher chance of someone coming parallelly on your journey. We're not meant to like stay alone forever and that's the best version of ourselves. No, but there is something involved when it comes to even there is a level of individuality involved in a partnership, a real one, a healthy one, where you know your own needs and what you can feel for yourself and the needs that you might have in a partnership in order to also bring that to the partnership. So what I'm sensing is that some of you actually have worked on this and have gone through that, and you are coming in that space. And what happens there is that someone is coming and willing to offer you the same amount of love and worth and value that you have for yourself. The Hierophant with 3 of Wands. Yeah, some of you are definitely getting messages of like, let's move in together, let's do this, let's do that, let's sign these papers. Really a commitment. But you also are definitely making a commitment to like, I want to see at least this. This is the bare minimum. And if you cannot bring me this, I am not willing to settle. That's what I'm sensing. Like you're setting boundaries whether it's already an existing partnership. But this could also be with like friends or work or whatever situation you're gaining from that perspective. Okay. You have Justice here and the Ace of Wands. Yeah. Definitely are on a pathway where you're seeing the results of the work you put in, and mostly the inner work you've been putting in, the Eight of Pentacles and the Emperor. The Ace of Wands is here, and it's the universe is just like, all right, we're on this train, here you go. For the next blockage or the roadblock that might show up, I have this tool for you. Like you can use this to try this. But they want you to do it, but still they're definitely willing to bring you, whatever you need. So focus on manifesting the things you need in order to be the best version of yourself. So some of you might be praying or meditating or trying to manifest the things you need in order to, work through things. You have the Page of Swords is here and the Six of Swords. So yeah, here comes that outward energy of like communicating with other people. Page of Swords, Six of Swords. So you are definitely getting to a more peaceful state when it comes to an unresolved issue, and there was a lot of talking involved but not a lot of listening, is what I'm hearing. You're more actively listening, and the other person as well, and then you're actually getting appreciated. So 6-6, you're getting appreciated and seen and valued for you and who you are and the work you've been doing. So it is first giving yourself that recognition and that insight, and from there other things, the outside world can come back in. Like I said in the beginning, it's a very private space. You also don't need to convince other people on how it feels or what's happening on the inside. Just be very clear in what you need from them. It's like, listen, I need a couple days. It's got a lot going on. I don't really know how to begin, where to begin and talk about it. But just so you know, I got some stuff going on. So if you could just, leave me alone for this week. It's nothing personal. I just need a couple days. Communicate it clearly. Love and acceptance with the Hope card. It's beautiful. I love how this yellow is all coming together. They say love is yours, Scorpio. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. Recognizing your own divine worth and choose loving thoughts when you come and talk to yourself about whatever. Choose loving thoughts consciously. So love and acceptance. Beautiful. If you can just add a little bit more of those ingredients into your life, into your individual life, I definitely think that a lot of beautiful things can grow from there. I'm gonna get one more card. The Emperor, I knew it would show up. With the Ten of Pentacles, of course. 9 into the 10. Okay. With the Emperor as well, yeah. Definitely are taking a leadership role in your own life, but also understanding where you want things to go. Yeah. It's just for some of you are doing some father healing, so it might be a father figure that might have like passed on. But it doesn't have to be. Maybe that person, you guys are good now when here in the present, but there's been a lot happening and a lot of I just have to accept this, or it is what it is. But then not really dealing with the emotions and feelings that are also valid, and to not step over them too quickly, to give them some space and to be there. And from that, you might can resolve some issues, because I feel like you also hurt yourself by having this wall up of not allowing those emotions to really speak for themselves. It's almost like because there is no space, it doesn't mean that they're not there and they don't need to be validated, whether it's only first and foremost by yourself. So a lot of emotional healing, but once again very powerful at the same time and very necessary, Scorpio. All right, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. We just had this full moon in your 5th house, and at the end of the month we have a new moon in the 12th. So whatever Mercury retrograde is teaching you, I really do feel that you will gain the perspective and know what to do next by the end of September, by like the 25th with the new moon in Libra. So going with the flow, Scorp, got this. All right, I love you. Have a beautiful month of September, and thank you once again for being here. Mwah. Bye, Scorp.